we have to understand any kind of linked with Dharma, listening, reflection, meditation, or receiving initiations, instructions, even doing circumambulates, offering waters, etc. So the generate bodhicitta mind is the most important. And with that kind of mind, then whatever we do Dharma, and that result will be just increasing or never vanishing until become enlightenment. So therefore, great masters are saying again, please try to generate your bodhicitta mind, or change your motivations, or look at your motivation, etc. So therefore, we followers, we should have to concerning about bodhicitta mind. And with bodhicitta mind, today we are listening such teaching that the Buddha's word, Buddha's Sutra teachings, like really Buddha's word from the, oral word teaching of the Buddhas about three jewels. So this is something very important things. So this teaching has the four main subjects. The first, the meaning of the title, first taken by the translators, and actual the teaching and conclusion. So we are on the third part, actual teachings. Then the actual teaching, the remembering of the quality of Buddhas, remembering of the quality of the Dharma, remembering of the quality of Sangha. And today, like we are almost finished of the, how could say that, Dharma paths. So Dharma means that, as we learned yesterday, Dharma has many different, like also the spring Dharmas, or highest Dharma, Dharma jewel, and there's scriptural Dharmas, and then realization of Dharma, or aspect of the past Dharma, and aspect of the result Dharma, or then Dharma such that, that hearing wisdom of Dharma, reflection of Dharma, and meditation of the wisdom of Dharma, etc. So any kind of Dharmas, it has to be pure. It should not be in mixture of the negative emotions. And then our Dharma practitioner perspective, if someone asking to us and our Dharma mind is very pure, so that question is that is, our ordinary beings. Mostly our minds are a little dirty, there is negative emotion and all kind of things. However, it's possibilities that sometimes we have very pure mind, which is really opened like long time, something. That sometimes we have very strong virtue mind coming inside, even tears come in eyes, hairs of the bodies are stand up. At that moment, that mind is very pure. It's totally antidote of the negative emotions. However, if that kind of mind is not last long. So that's why we are very weak practitioner. Buddha sometimes used childhood. So childhood, and he tried to stand up, but he falling down. He tried to walk, but he cannot really, kind of step the steps, footsteps, I think. And he tried to talk something, but he can't really come any words. But at that moment, even he falling down, that is the one of the very important progress of the genuine work. And sometimes these kids, they crying, Maybe that is the, I think, only he can learn the how to speak, how to laugh, and so on and so forth. So that moment, that standing up or falling down or try to do something is very important. As we, when we look at, of course, he is falling down with very sorry and so on and so forth, but eventually or actually, and those are the best for him to be standing and walk and so on and so forth. Likewise, for our Dhamma practice, we try to do something. Surely, we try to talk Dharma, think Dharma, practice Dharma, but very much like childhood or child, how he physically exercises. However, and this is the great seed, chance, this kid, if he's not falling down, then I think he is not healthy. If this child never cry, I'm sure the parents very worried, oh, now my child is something wrong, there's no sounds and so on and so forth. So crying is one of the actually sign that he is very healthy. So likewise, that our crisis of the dharmas, sometimes we do totally opposite of the dharma and full of inside something, but at the same time, we are suffering. We know this is not good. And that is already very good, you'd say, I think. So however, so dharma must be the antidote of the negative emotions. Here they're talking about spring dharmas. And then conclusion yesterday, Mipham Rinpoche is saying that absolute point of view, there's limitless, dharma means like your really realization, pure, how you could say that, dhammakaya of this mind. Relatively, there is some kind of, defilements. It's covered to see the genuine mind. So in order to remove this, we need to accumulate merit. We need to accumulate wisdom. So therefore, listening teachings, taking refuges, having the renunciation, bodhicitta mind, etc. is very important. So therefore, here says that Jesus in this last word, now that you have recollected, or we have to recollect it, the good quality of Dharma in that way, the next step, so next step is to take up the Dharma according to your own capacity with the thoughts, and such that how joyful I am, or how lucky I am, how fortunate I am, now that I have met these appearances of the precious Dharma. Precious Dharma. What was they are talking about? Big D Dharma and small D Dharma is what difference?
With small D, it's all phenomena.
Then this must be wrong then.
What?
This translation there must be wrong.
If it's the first letter of sentence, then they can use capital letter.
But if this small letter is all phenomena, right?
Yeah.
A big letter is Buddha Dharma. Big letter is Buddha Dharma, right?
Normally, but if it's the first word of the sentence, it can be. It depends on the context.
Yes, but here's the problem is they use small Dharma. All Dharmas they use small D.
That is very wrong. Dharma should be always used with big D.
Okay, so you have to send mail to this great translator. Okay.
That is quite unfortunate. It is a common. It is a common. How I say. Protocol or tradition to use always.
Right. That I also feel a little bit like that. Anyway, precious Dharma.